ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. 3 couples, 4 vacations, a lot to unpack. Watch The 4 Seasons, a new series starring comedy favorites Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, and more in a hilarious and heartfelt love letter to long-term relationships. Based on the original Alan Alda film. Watch The 4 Seasons, May 1st, only on Netflix.
Hi, it's Dave here. This is my wife, Kathy.
Hello.
This is the Cinemile. It's the podcast where we walk home from the movies. But today we're going to do a streamer movie. So the walking will all happen in and around our house.
Yes.
So, Kathy, tell them what we've decided to watch and why, and also explain why you decided to watch this and why I have to watch it.
We're making you watch it. Well, it's called Another Simple Favour. It is currently the #1 streaming movie globally on Amazon.
Which means it must be good.
I mean, they don't have that many movies, so I question the stat. But it's getting a lot of buzz. I've seen a lot about it. Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about Blake Lively in the news this year. So having not seen A Simple Favour, I have recommended that we should watch it this week.
You just want to watch it for the Blake Lively buzz. What is? You just want to see what she's like in this movie?
I'm just interested. Yeah, it's piqued my interest, even though I didn't see the first one, and I don't feel like I ever missed out, given that you slated it on this very podcast when you went to see it.
That's right. Yes, I did see this with an old work colleague, Andrew Neve. Shout out to Andrew if he's listening somehow.
I'm sure he's desperate to hear your review of Another
He's
Simple
dying
Favour.
because we both had such a blast. I remember it well. I remember all of the circumstances. Andrew said, I've been invited to a press screening of this movie that I've never heard of, A Simple Favour. Have you heard of it? And I said, no, I have not heard of it, but let's go because we're young and don't have kids. Maybe no, actually we had a young kid at that stage. And we went, and turns out it was the UK premiere, or possibly the worldwide premiere of that movie, and Paul Feig was there, and Stanley Tucci was there, even though he wasn't in the movie. And we had a fun time, but neither of us thought the movie was very good, and I can't remember a single thing about. I have no idea what happened.
Well, we're going to watch
except I thought it was bad.
We're going to watch a recap of the first one before we watch the second one. So we're going to go and watch it now, and we'll be back after we've seen Another Simple Favour.
See you then.
Emily, how are you here?
I'm getting married.
Will you be my maid of honor? Did I mention it was in Capri?
Capri? Yes, she is in. We're all in.
Why am I here?
You think I want to make you pay for stealing my life?
Who's the lucky guy?
Dante Versano, old money.
It was a great deal that you're here. I would rather shave my balls with a rusty knife than be at this wedding. What did she say to convince you to come to this farce?
Fratricide, identity fraud, just girlfriend stuff.
I have a surprise. Your own true family. You probably don't remember me. It's your Auntie Linda.
You brought your sister to my wedding?
She's an insurance policy.
Does I won't kill you both?
Okay, hi, we're back. We've seen Another Simple Favour. If it's your first time at the cinema, we won't spoil the movie, of course, until we get to spoiler street, at which stage all of its twisty turns and reveals shall be revealed to you, the listener.
Ooh, so many twists.
So, Kathy, we talked throughout this entire movie.
The entire film.
So I know, so I know exactly what you think. But why don't you share with the listeners what you thought?
So, firstly, the
Maybe
Blake
tell them what
Lively stuff is fascinating. There's been so much discourse about her because of the movie she made that kind of blew up last year on social media regarding rumours around her and the cast and the director and all this kind of stuff, which I followed avidly.
And it's turned into a massive legal
It's a huge
dispute,
thing.
right? Suing and counter-suing.
Everyone's suing everyone. Everyone's releasing everyone's texts. I kind of have no opinion on it all because it feels like everyone's come out poorly from it.
They all seem like the villains.
It's just all come across quite poorly. But it's interesting having that layer in when you're watching it. And I do find Blake Lively, like, in serious roles, I've enjoyed her in the past, say in like Age of Adeline or...
I love that one,
Gossip
The
Girl.
Shallows. Do you remember where she was
The Shallows, yeah.
trapped on a
That's
rock
good.
and she was a surfer and there was sharks circling? That's a great little
But it's
film.
interesting watching her in a comedy role like this, which I'm not sure if I've seen her do before. Like, I didn't warm to the performance. And now I can't tell, is Blake Lively impersonating Ryan Reynolds? Is he impersonating Blake Lively? Are they just the same person? Because it's essentially Deadpool, but if Deadpool was in a simple favour and less mouthy. So
Don't think I agree with that.
it's the same kind of I'm so funny, I'm so deadpan, I'm just going to crack jokes all the time thing. It's weird. It didn't work for me. I appreciate that's probably how it's written, but it was odd to me. And maybe it's because I've read too much of all that other stuff. Like I like Anna Kendrick, but I don't think she's given anything particularly interesting to do here. And I guess overall we had a good time watching this film. I would say both watching it and slagging it off the entire time at the same time. Like, the setting's really nice, there's some fun mystery elements, but overall it's just trying to be funny and it's not funny. And it's trying to be really clever and whip smart and it's none of those things. I think it's a little bit aspiring to be around kind of Knives Out level of production and vibrancy, which it isn't. Neither of us are particularly fans of Paul Feig anyway, so I guess we were never going to come in here loving it probably. But overall, I'm kind of surprised at all the hype. I'm surprised it got a sequel. I guess the first one must have done well for it to have gotten a sequel, but we did feel a bit like, is this just a load of friends who wanted to go on holidays together? Like, that kind of a vibe watching it. So yeah, I had a good time. The fact that we watched it at home is a positive. I think if I'd seen it in the cinema, I would have been like, this is a streamer movie.
You'd be 20% more disappointed.
It's not a cinema movie. Like, I'm not surprised it didn't go to cinema because it feels kind of like an extended TV show, I guess. Dave, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is a really bad film, but nonetheless, I have to say we did enjoy. It's a very easy watch.
Yeah.
Like, we did enjoy it, and it's not bad to the point where it's unwatchable.
No, not
it's
at all.
Perfect. In fact,
Yeah.
I did, despite myself, laugh a few times.
I did too.
There's
Like,
a few
there's a
funny
great
bits.
cast in here. Like, Alison Janney's in it.
Oh, Alison Janney's
Yeah.
fantastic. When she showed up, I was like, oh, look.
Yeah, there's a good cast.
But then what's her name
and the
from
setting was
Big
beautiful.
was there, and she was wasted.
Elizabeth
I thought.
Perkins.
Elizabeth Perkins,
Totally
yeah.
wasted because I got excited
Wasted.
when I saw her name in the credits. But like, beautiful, like when you're in a beautiful setting like this, it does elevate a film, right? Like, it's spectacular.
Yeah, but it's
looking.
it's the Mamma Mia thing where
Yeah.
the cast are having more fun than we are.
Yeah, exactly.
And they all got to go on holidays to Italy and I'm sure everyone had a fantastic time and
Yeah.
good for them. But this film is not, as you said it right, it's not as clever or as funny as it thinks it is. And there is a smugness
Yeah.
pervading over this film, which I find unbearable, and that was present in the first one as well.
And that's where the Blake Lively character stuff, and I'm not saying it's her as an actress, I couldn't grasp. I guess her character's supposed to be slippery, but like, at no point when her character was delivering any lines did it feel like a human would be saying
and
that,
I'm
those
sorry.
things.
Yeah, I don't want to character assassinate Blake Lively. I don't know her, and I don't. And I have enjoyed her previously, as you have. But I agree. I don't think she has the comedic chops to do what this role requires, where you've got this. Now, by the way, what she does have is incredible fashion sense, and I don't know, is that's like
The clothes are amazing.
the wardrobe department,
Yeah.
or if it's Blake Lively. I think you said she's renowned for having a very unique style
yeah.
and floral style. Like, the outfits she wears in this movie are insane. They're
Yeah.
cool,
She looks
and she
amazing.
looks amazing, and she's glamorous as hell. So she does. Like, her character requires that. Her character is
But then
this
sometimes she just
suave,
has like
slick,
a
cool.
suit and a cane, and it's really
No, but I actually like all that. I think that's cool, and it's weird and interesting. And I think so she can do that stuff perfectly, and she is a perfectly good actor. But anytime, and it happens all the time, anytime her and Anna Kendrick are having this acidic sort of playful sort of whip smart back and forth dialogue with each other, where it's supposed to be kind of bantery. I was dying inside. It hurt me.
And we know Anna Kendrick can do comedy, but it just didn't.
But even Anna Kendrick
they don't work together on screen.
Was grinding her teeth through this material, or it just wasn't. No, and that's I think a failure of both the writing and the probably despite the performance, they can't make this dialogue work
and
for
the
whatever
direction.
reason.
Like none of it's pulling together.
Paul Feig is not. Yeah, he's not. I think he's a very bland director, if I'm honest. I think he often has successful movies despite. I don't think he's I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and directors do a lot of stuff, but I think Bridesmaids and did he do Spy, and like I think often if he gets good comedic performers you can get some
what he does
good
really
stuff,
well, which is rare, is that he brings women into these comedic films, these comedic roles.
Yeah, and he should be commended for that.
I really admire that. Yeah. And I do think both Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick have brilliant screen presence. And then there was occasional scenes where it kind of worked, but overarchingly didn't really gel, but all over the place. I did enjoy the twists and turns though, and I know over on our Patreon we kind of chat about movies and TVs and everything with patrons like pretty much every day. And
that moment when you realize your skincare is actually working. That's Rodan & Fields, the #1 female dermatologist-founded skincare brand in the U.S. Designed by 2 dermatologists who don't just know women's skin, they know how to formulate for it. Rodan & Fields, love what you see. Tap the banner or visit rodanandfields.com/Spotify to get your exclusive welcome offer.
So the patrons were saying they enjoyed this film. Like, it's a fun watch to put on, you know.
I think this film, and I was kind of, this first film was kind of coming back to me a bit more. At least in this film, I felt like it leaned into the silliness a little bit more, which the first film still had a sense of self-seriousness, that it wanted to be this kind of edgy, dark thriller. I think at least this film has a little bit more self-awareness of what it is. It's colourful and silly.
It's quite camp.
And camp, yeah. And that stuff I thought was all perfectly fine and enjoyable. But then there's some weird stuff which I'd like to speak to in spoilers. Okay. Like it gets real weird.
It gets very strange. Yeah, this completely inappropriate.
There's a lot of unnecessarily inappropriate stuff.
Really weird stuff. So before we go to spoilers, we'll take a quick break. But we do ask, if you listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen, if you'd follow the podcast, we greatly appreciate it. It makes a big difference if you follow us. It should be up around the top right somewhere on your screen. And if you like the podcast, if you left us a review, that would be amazing. And if you like the podcast, recommend it to friends and family. Share it.
And if you really like the podcast, why not support us even further by joining our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Cinemile and join hundreds of other fantastic movie lovers who we chat to every day, and we do exclusive monthly Retro Movie Club episodes on. This month's theme is Movie Misfits in honor of Thunderbolts. You get to suggest movies, it goes up for a public vote, and we'll watch it, and we're going to be doing that very shortly.
And we just published a review of Andor.
Yeah, we did Andor. We do loads of TV stuff. Andor, The Last of Us, regular check-ins. We just did a big roundup of all the stuff we've been watching,
including You finale, You season 5,
You, the studio, loads of stuff.
Yeah, loads of stuff. Right, so hopefully see you over there, and we'll be back in a minute to talk spoilers on Another Simple Favour.
Okay, so let's spoil the hell out of Another Simple Favour.
Because I watched the recap of the first film. There had been a mention of triplets, but I'd forgotten about it.
Oh, had there?
The triplets thing.
I wouldn't know, I've never seen it.
You have seen it. The triplets thing was fun.
It was fine.
It was fun. And I think when Blake Lively was playing the triplet, the other one,
she was good.
Chastity
she was good as Chastity.
See, the thing with Blake Lively is she's a good actress.
I think so too. And she was. There was a clear differentiation between the two.
Yeah.
Like they changed the hair a little bit. Why is it with this year? Every movie this year has twins or triplets.
But
with the same actor. What is going on?
It's quite interesting.
Or clones or whatever. But this is happening again and again.
Yeah.
I agree. Chastity was a fun little new character, but what did we need the incest stuff?
Oh, that was genuinely disturbing, and this is actually a discretion warning and a trigger warning here for a second. I don't know what this plot was doing in this film. But Blake Lively's like triplet.
She's
like
sexually assaults her, and then
they make jokes about it,
and then they make a joke, and then
so that's where the humor is.
And then, but it's like
terrible.
But then it's like it's not. But then Anna Kendrick makes the joke, and then it's like the movie realizes, oh wait, you can't joke about that stuff, and then she says something like, "Oh, I'm sorry, must have been really traumatic for you." It's like, yeah, well. Don't make the joke then.
And
don't
then
leave the joke in, or don't have any of this. What is the point of any of this?
So weird. And there was a joke carrying over from the first film where Anna Kendrick had sex with her brother.
Yeah. So what is this movie's
so she was
obsessed
calling
with
her
incest?
a brother. Yeah, but that was consensual though.
Yeah.
So they were calling her a brother fucker in the first movie. So then she started calling her a sister fucker in this movie.
And I think they think that's really
so
funny.
Unfunny. We were literally stone faced watching this. Like enraged. Anyway, move past that horrific plot. The stuff with Alison Janney and Elizabeth Perkins, all that stuff was fun.
Well, the Elizabeth Perkins thing,
but she was wasted.
Is that making fun of dementia and mental health a little bit?
No, I don't think so. I think she was just supposed to be like really, really spaced out on like. I think she was supposed to be really spaced out, like they were drugging her.
Dementia.
I actually don't know what was going on there. The plots of like Anna Kendrick is the star of the film, I think. Like she kind of carries it together. She's our protagonist. So Anna Kendrick trying to solve what's going on here. Like the initial murder, that was nearly like something out of Final Destination. In the shower.
Well, no, if it was Final Destination, there would be, 15
little
things would occur
but
to make the shower.
But it was really bloody and kind of
I could not
elaborate.
believe how bloody and gory it was. Like Henry Golding bleeding from his eyes and ears. It was unnecessarily gory. It was odd.
It was
It
odd.
didn't fit the tone of the
and
movie
he was like,
either.
"Oh, it's you," or something.
It's a classic thing to say.
And then
what are you doing?
It was
here?
reminding me of So I Married an Axe Murderer, actually, this film. So then, right, for anyone who hasn't watched the film, or anyone who has and thought this was as wild as we did. So Blake Lively hasn't seen her son in 5 years because she's been in prison. Then she's like, her son is forced through some court order to come to her wedding. I'm not sure stacks up really that you'd be forced to take your child out of the country to his mom's wedding who he hasn't seen in 5 years. But anyway, then the night before the wedding,
who's also a criminal.
His dad
is a convicted murderer.
Yeah, convicted
like
murderer.
what?
Why is she allowed to just travel? I guess she's marrying someone rich.
Well, they said the police. They say she's been released at the beginning.
I know, but like I don't know. I feel like
that's never explained.
I feel like you'd be on probation for a while.
I know, right?
Anyway,
off you go to Italy.
Yeah,
bye.
Yeah, like you're a mass murderer.
Take your son. Sure.
Yeah. And then the ex-husband's like brutally murdered in the shower. And then they're like, oh well, the show must go on.
I know, yeah.
So then it's the next morning, and
she's
having her wedding.
The son would have seen his body.
Yeah.
He's outside the door.
The son is just sat at his mom's wedding. Like his mom,
like nothing happened, died. And then it's like, and she never says anything or acknowledges it.
I think the film,
he just goes, "Can I go play with my drone?" Okay.
The film didn't know what to do with the kid character, and I think
so. He shouldn't have been in it. Just don't write him out.
Like I understand they wanted to bring back her husband, but they could have contrived a way for him to be at it without the kid being at it.
But then who's going to have the drone moment at the end where he knocks her with the drone? I was like, well, as soon as that drone kept showing up every 5 minutes, we were like, I guess the drone's going to play a part. But like, couldn't you have just come up with anything else?
Yeah. The mafia plot?
Rather than having a child be traumatized.
Yeah, it just didn't
and then never
sense.
Acknowledge it and just have his mother flippantly ignore it.
Even when the dad, before he was murdered, was getting like really drunk and hammered at the kind of rehearsal dinner. And him and Anna Kendrick are like trading barbs, and they've slept together before, and Blake Lively is. It just all felt so ridiculous.
It is
like no one would be acting like this.
It's superfluous. I think they did it all because, well, I guess one, they needed a murder victim that was close to them, I guess. But two, I think Henry Golding. Probably a bit of a bigger star since 2018, and probably they wanted to write him in.
When was my
Crazy Rich Asians and
that would have already happened by the first one.
Some other stuff.
Yeah, like he's a big actor.
Yeah, he's a name.
Yeah. So they obviously wanted him back. I think they could have handled it better. And then him being really drunk and their conversations. I don't know. It all just felt very inauthentic. Didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick being there didn't work at all. It didn't make any sense. They contrived to get her there. Again, they just ticked enough boxes to get these people at a wedding in Italy, but Did any of it make sense?
No.
Absolutely not.
And then all the mafia stuff and the FBI stuff. I mean, it does turn into a farce and a caper.
Yeah, really farcical.
And I was kind of okay with it.
I enjoyed the farce
and
sides.
I gotta say, the funniest bit for me, and I don't know why, but the actress was so funny. The Italian housemaid
She was brilliant,
hotel maid was so funny. And and actually, there's one great gag where she goes, Kendrick, like, can you smuggle me out in your cleaning cart, which we've seen 100 times in movies, and we know what they look like and what that whole thing looks like. And she brings out the see-through bag. I thought that's a great gag.
Yeah, there was some good gags in there. Like, we did actually laugh a fair bit. But look, none of it hangs together. At the end, they framed...
When she said, I'm doing this isn't worth €10.
Oh, that was so funny. She'd been tipped €10. At the end, I don't know, like, none of it really hung together. And then...
No.
At the very end, Anna Kendrick, I guess, is just like adopted Blake Lively's kid.
Yeah, because of course.
And then Blake Lively meets at the very end the mom, the head of the mafia.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Mission Impossible, and now she works for her and gets missions off her.
And she says she says commits the sin of saying the title of the movie in an important, self-serious way.
To have your first movie,
must ask you another simple favour.
To have the title of the first movie being A Simple Favour, and then to have the second one being Another Simple Favour, I'm into it. I think that's a good sequel title.
I'm sorry, what was the first simple favour that Blake Lively has performed for the mother?
When I watched, the mother didn't say Another Simple Favour. The mother said, I need to ask you a simple favour. But in the first movie,
said another simple
when I went
favour.
back and watched the recap of the first movie, it seems like every second thing Blake Lively says to Anna Kendrick is, I just have a simple favour I need you to help me with.
Oh, okay.
I would say they're definitely going to make a third one, given the success of how well it's done.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And why not? I know I said this was a bad movie, and it is. But I probably would watch another one.
Well, we'll have to complete the trilogy.
I don't know why.
You know?
I would throw it on. Do you know what? It's the kind of movie you watch at home. There's a distinction. I don't know if anyone. I'm sure everyone else notices.
Yeah,
this.
it's a TV movie.
It's a TV movie. But there's a distinction between the kind of movie where if I leave the room to go to the toilet or get a drink or whatever.
You don't need to pause.
Yeah, this is a don't pause it movie.
I paused it and you were like, don't.
No, I was like, don't pause it. Let this movie run. I want to miss some of it, and I don't care. Mm-hmm. But I'm happy enough to watch it when I come back.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's something that's you don't want to miss a second of, that's a pause movie.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
This is a let it run TV movie that we've somehow
is a background movie.
Reviews the entire franchise on this podcast. We will be back for all sequels. We want to hear what our listeners think, because we know our patrons definitely enjoyed it.
Do you know what
our listeners enjoyed it as well?
Do you know what it's like? It's like that murder mystery movie with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. It's got that vibe, but probably
which I think we've also reviewed on this podcast.
Yeah, we've reviewed both of them, I think.
And I think they made us. Yeah,
why are we here for this?
This
terrible shit.
But like, we love murder mysteries. Like, we'll always come back for them, and typically they disappoint. I think murder mysteries are often best in a book, to be honest. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Let us know what you thought about it. Come over to us. We are on Instagram.
Come over to us.
Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube @Cinemile, or email us to cinemile@gmail.com. But most importantly, please follow us wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribe.
And come over to us. Our address is in the link. It's in the description. Just pop over, have a cup of tea.
Pop over and we'll just have a simple favour you're asking.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
How long? 2 minutes, 37 seconds. Best one yet.